This is the story of Tsiona and Tim's first trip to Ethiopia. It was eye-opening, beautiful, and wonderful, and we met our gorgeous daughter, Eliana Bracha Nuhamin. Addis Ababa is full of large, beautiful, shining buildings, and right next to them often are lowly shacks where the poor live. It is a city of a dichotomy. You can see a beautiful Mercedes right next to a donkey-drawn cart. The poverty is intense. The stark lack of things is eye-opening, but there are things in the stores to buy. Injera is a fluffy pancake-like bread served with different kinds of stews right on top. The coffee ceremony is done multiple times a day in Ethiopia. It's a time for family, neighbors, and friends to get together. And we enjoyed both the traditional coffee and the new coffee that we found in Addis Ababa and other places. Injera is made from teff, a tiny little wheat-like grain, which is still mostly harvested by hand in the countryside. We saw this a lot on the roads in the countryside. It's in the city of Addis Ababa. Ethiopians love their children. Even the one beer note has a picture of a child on it. These are some of my favorite pictures of the little children all in their different colored uniforms for school. Children are still let out of school during the harvest season to help with harvest. They mostly take care of the animals, herding them across the street for the farms. Umbrellas are both modern and ancient in Ethiopia. They're held for shade, but mostly they're an accessory for fashion, and they're especially important on religious holidays. You're not dressed up without one. Weaving is still done by hand in Ethiopia, and they produce the most gorgeous fabrics and little tiny dresses that I bought a lot of. The market is full of the handmade fabric. These women are selling their few cabbages to try to sustain themselves. The poverty is amazing. A traditional tailor shop in the Mercado. Furniture store. A lot of beggar women on the street. I didn't take pictures of the children. It was too painful. Immense pride in Lucy, the very first human being. Traditional artwork showing Queen of Sheba. The restaurant at the National Museum. A country church in all its colorful glory. We loved the donkey carts. Football, or what we call soccer, is very big in Ethiopia, and we were lucky to be there when they were playing against Nigeria. Unfortunately, they didn't win, but that did not stop their dancing and their excitement in the streets, everyone wearing the Ethiopian colors, and everywhere you could see, people were wearing the Ethiopian soccer jerseys. Views from our hotel room. Kids playing football in the streets. This is Beth and Toto Artisans, a group of HIV positive women who make jewelry and baskets. It's sold at 10,000 Villages and other places, and it's a safe place for these women to work. Dr. Rick Hodes works at Mother Teresa, which is meant to be a step up from dying in the street, and that's exactly what it is. It's a stark, difficult place to visit. This is the SOS villages, where children, orphans are taken in, whole families are helped. Foosball is played on the streets, and pictures of participants in the Great Race, 25,000 runners from across Ethiopia. Shop owners and their shop. This is Yud Abyssinia, a traditional dinner and dance theater production. Farmers watering their cattle at a water hole in the south. Gorgeous children in the south. The poverty line in Ethiopia is 2,000 birr a year, about $100. A day laborer makes about 50 cents a day, which you can buy about one meal with. If you're careful, make it at home and get a good deal on teff. Monkeys, birds, and hippos in Awassa. The hippos didn't move much, so we got to take lots of pictures of them. People out for a picnic by the water. Our hotel in the south. Ethiopian ducks. Very odd looking birds. I don't know what they were. We loved the monkeys outside our window at the hotel in Awassa. Unfortunately, we didn't latch the window properly. They made quite the mess in the room. They moved us to a new room. One of the other women in the hotel tried to pet a monkey and he punched her in the eye. So don't pet the monkeys. Our morning in Owasso. Traditional mud huts in the south. This is where people live. There's no electricity. There's no telephone. There's no internet. There's just the mud hut and the farm. In the south, you see these beautiful Indian-style cars. Traditional round mud huts are still the primary. Hotel restaurant in the south. Our driver haggles for a pumpkin on the side of the road. There are over 70 distinct ethnicities and languages in Ethiopia. Monument to multiculturalism in Owasso. Modern art gallery in Addis Ababa, full of the most beautiful art pieces. We brought home two, but these were some of our favorites. Until we get to go back.